In the quiet and unassuming town of Rochester, New York, a sinister mystery began to unfold in the early 1970s. This was a time when Rochester was known more for its idyllic landscapes and friendly community than for any dark secrets hiding beneath its surface. Life was serene, peaceful, almost storybook-like. But this tranquility was about to be shattered. In the heart of this unsuspecting town lived a young girl named Carmen Colon. Little did anyone know Carmen's life would tragically be cut short, her name destined to be etched in the annals of unsolved mysteries. The chilling detail that would later baffle investigators and send shivers down the spines of those who knew her was the eerie coincidence of her initials, CCC, which matched the initials of the town Rochester, New York. Carmen Colon's untimely death was only the beginning of a series of grim events that would soon haunt Rochester. As Rochester reeled from Carmen's murder, the alphabet killer struck again, this time claiming the life of Wanda Wolkowitz. In the spring of 1971, the city was once again shaken by the disappearance of another young girl. Wanda Wolkowitz, a vibrant 11-year-old known for her bright red hair, vanished without a trace while on her way home from a nearby grocery store. Her mother's worst fears were realized the following day, when Wanda's lifeless body was found on a hillside miles away from her home. The circumstances surrounding Wanda's abduction were eerily similar to Carmen's case. Like Carmen, Wanda was a young child, her life cruelly cut short in its prime. She too had been abducted in broad daylight from a neighborhood that once felt safe. And perhaps most chillingly, the killer had chosen another victim whose first and last initials matched, Wanda Wolkowitz, or WW. But the similarities didn't end there. Just as with Carmen, Wanda's body was found. In a horrifying echo of the previous crimes, the alphabet killer claimed his final known victim, Michelle Maenza. In the chilling autumn of 2024, an innocent 11-year-old girl named Michelle Maenza became entangled in the sinister web of the alphabet killer. Michelle was a lively child, full of spirit and dreams, unaware of the malevolent fate that awaited her. On a fateful November day, she was abducted on her way home from school, her disappearance echoing the chilling pattern established by the alphabet killer. The circumstances surrounding Michelle's abduction were eerily similar to those of the previous victims. The alphabet killer, it seemed, was not one to deviate from his modus operandi. Michelle was last seen alive near her school, a common thread that linked her to the previous victims. Her life was cut short in the most brutal way, and her body was later discovered in the town of Macedon. Just as the alphabet killer's previous victims, the first and last initials of Michelle's name matched the town where her lifeless body was found. This chilling pattern continued to baffle investigators and sent waves of dread through the communities of upstate New York. The alphabet killer seemed to be playing a cruel game, one that left a trail of young lives lost and families shattered. Michelle's death was a grim testament to the alphabet killer's reign of terror. It brought an end to the series of murders that had been haunting the region for over a year. However, this was far from being the end of the nightmare. Instead, it marked a new chapter in the investigation, one filled with unanswered questions and a search for justice that continues till this day. Michelle's death marked a tragic end to the alphabet killer's known spree, but the mystery was far from over. The sinister shadow of the alphabet killer would continue to loom over the region, instilling fear and uncertainty that still echoes in the hearts of the people, a chilling reminder of a mystery that remains unsolved. The Rochester police launched one of the largest manhunts in the city's history, but the alphabet killer remained elusive. In the wake of the chilling murders, the city of Rochester was in a state of high alert, and the local police force found themselves caught up in a desperate race against time. They were facing an adversary who was cunning, ruthless, and seemingly always one step ahead. The magnitude of the case soon attracted the attention of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and before long, the FBI had joined the manhunt. This marked one of the first instances where psychological profiling was used extensively in an attempt to get inside the mind of the killer. The experts at the FBI worked tirelessly, piecing together the killer's modus operandi, his likely characteristics, and even his possible motivations. As the investigation progressed, several individuals were brought into the police's crosshairs. Each of them, at one point or another, seemed like a promising suspect. There was the local drifter whose erratic behavior and criminal past raised eyebrows. There was the disgruntled ex-employee of a nearby school who had a strange obsession with the alphabet. And there was the enigmatic loner who seemed to appear and disappear around the city at will. However, each of these suspects was eventually ruled out. The drifter had a solid alibi for the times of the murders. The ex-employee was found to be suffering from severe mental health issues that rendered him incapable of planning such complex crimes. As for the loner, while he remained a person of interest, there was simply not enough evidence to link him conclusively to the killings. Despite the tireless efforts of the investigators, the alphabet killer continued to evade capture. The manhunt gradually wound down, and the killer's trail went cold. The city of Rochester was left with a haunting legacy, a string of unsolved murders, and a mystery that proved to be as perplexing as the alphabet itself. Despite their best efforts, the authorities were unable to capture the alphabet killer, leading to more questions than answers. More than 50 years have passed since the alphabet killer's reign of terror, yet the case remains unsolved. This enduring mystery has captivated and confounded investigators, researchers, and armchair detectives alike. Over the years, a myriad of theories have bubbled to the surface, each attempting to shed light on the identity of the alphabet killer. Some point to the work of a deranged serial killer, while others suggest a series of unconnected crimes tragically linked by coincidence. Suspects have been scrutinized, their lives dissected in the quest for answers. Yet none have been conclusively tied to the crimes. The spectre of the alphabet killer remains, a phantom lurking in the annals of crime history. The impact of these heinous crimes has been profound, particularly in Rochester, New York. The city, once a bustling hub of industry and innovation, found itself under the shadow of fear and uncertainty. The sense of safety and trust within the community was shattered, replaced by a chilling realization that such evil could exist in their midst. Yet, it's the victims' families who've borne the brunt of this enduring mystery. They've been left with a void, an unfillable chasm of loss and unanswered questions. Their pain, their grief, their quest for justice has been carried down through generations, a haunting legacy of the alphabet killer's reign of terror. Despite the passing of time, the alphabet killer's crimes have not been forgotten. They serve as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the unpredictability of fate. They have become a part of the collective consciousness, a chilling tale told in hushed whispers, a ghost story that refuses to fade. As we delve deeper into this enduring mystery, we're reminded of the stark reality of human nature, of the darkness that can lurk in the most unexpected places. The alphabet killer's crimes serve as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the most unexpected places, forever leaving a mark on the history of Rochester. The alphabet killer's tale is more than a series of crimes. It's a haunting enigma that continues to fascinate and horrify. This chilling narrative has seeped into our culture, casting a grim shadow across literature, films, and countless true crime discussions. Its impact is so profound that it has become a point of reference, a symbol of unsolved terror that sends shivers down our spines. Yet despite its dark allure, we must remember the real human lives that were tragically cut short, the families left in despair, their cries for justice echoing into the void. We hold on to the hope, the relentless pursuit of truth, that one day there will be answers. That one day justice will reach out from the shadows and shed light on this dreadful enigma. Until then, the alphabet killer's crimes remain a chilling, unsolved mystery, forever etched in the annals of American crime history.